Uh, my name is Margaret Ann Windsor, and I'm responding to a comment that I'm going to read it to you. This is probably, I got a lot more than I know that I haven't read, similar to this. A friend of mine gave me, it was August the 3rd, will be 3 years this coming summer. He sent me the phone, computer, so I could upload videos and chronicle, like a diary, what's happened to me. Of course, you can't. I'm 76 years old, going on 77, and the lies, the laws that were so blatantly broken that it's almost like, how many laws can you break? And nobody will touch it. No, the law enforcement's involved in it, and here in this country, and at times I probably wouldn't have been alive if it hadn't been for them. The public, general public, does not like to hear the truth, and that's all this has been. I've not lied about anything. You can't even put it down on video or paper what has been done to me and to my sons and to my father and my mother and my country. Now, this is where that I, got the most flack and pain. Is when you start telling the Americans what they did to you and you refuse to honor their flag. Let me remind you, this country did it to me. So you're telling me, like the rapist and the killer stood there and ripped your guts out and raped you repeatedly, and you're supposed to bow down to them and thank them for doing it. So I won't go any further with that. I just wanted to say that I'm going to read you what came to me this morning. This is just one, okay? If you care to look back at what I've tried to tell and say in here, well, I'll leave it to you all. I've put it on Facebook, Instagram, and a whole bunch of YouTubes. So my prayer is that I hope I get to tell it before the world and all of it shown. And, okay? Because right now only God can make people pay, because they don't even care that they did it. They hate you. The Americans will come after you if you start saying one thing about the truth, showing them, standing there with it, etc. This is what I got this morning at 2:28 or 2:38 a.m. Yesterday was Veterans Day. I wonder what you think I am. I'm the legal monarch, Victoria II. I found out in '83 when I ran in a political campaign to replace a congressman, doctor, I'd written about in a book that I tried to get published. So that's when I found out about it. And then later, the family where they put me when they kidnapped me in Moulton, Alabama, since I had so much evidence, and one of them had even told me, confessed finally. I think that was part of it because Larry Flint his involvement. He was shot in Lawrenceville, Georgia, when I was trying to do this book I just mentioned. And I was flown out there later in that campaign to replace the doctor I wrote about. And I put all this up on YouTube. Mr. Flint had been shot, and the person programmed to shoot him, and he even mentioned Larry McDonald, Congressman Doctor, in the endorsement in Hustler that he did, saying I knew who was responsible for his shooting. But this goes way beyond that, and it gets away from the point I want to make right at the moment. I found out about my real name, and the Brits told me. And I look back, and I'm not going to mention, because I don't want someone to have repercussions, because they cared enough to get involved and try to help me when this whole country and the people responsible for my kidnapping, the Rockefellers and Rothschilds, and all the money they stole from me. You Google the wealthiest monarch in the world, and it's Elizabeth. She's using my money. The woman should be put away and locked up. That whole lineage of the Windsors should be. Anyway, what I wanted to read was what came off this morning. So evidently they had watched some of the YouTube. My understanding the other day was, and I did not know about this person, that she had filed in the Parliament and charged Elizabeth with treason, which that much is true. But she's claiming that she's the only daughter of King Edward VIII. Well, that's a total lie. I didn't even know about this woman. I did see part of the videos. But anyway, she was claiming that, and that's a total lie. My father was not married to the imposter that married Wallace Simpson. My father was married to Claudia Ruth O'Keefe Windsor from America, Irish-American, sister to artist Georgia O'Keefe. So I'm going to read you this in a minute. And so see, no, my parents weren't related, thank you. And thank you for such a nice compliment that you cared me when I cried out in pain at the injustice that's been done to me at the hands of the Americans and part of my own family and the Jews. Rockefellers and Rothschilds are Jews, let me remind you. And no, it's not okay to do it to me, but I wanted to read this. This woman who filed, her last name's Craig, C-R-A-G-G, she went to George Mason University, so I don't know, you can make your own. That's where that's McLean, Virginia. She suddenly comes out with this claim. Let me remind you, I found out she's born 5 years after me. I was born in 39. So I was kidnapped in 41, and I can assure you my father and mother were still alive when I came to Roanoke, Virginia in 86. They were old. My father and mother, when I was born, were 40 and 45 years old. They were together. They loved each other. They tried like hell to get me back and to get back what was his heritage and his right to be king. So the forces were too much, and after they kidnapped me, you can imagine. And where I was taken was so appalling, if it's ever shown how I grew up and the things that have been done to me in the face and the help of all the Americans. So this is what I get in return, and I'm going to read it. From wellardstiffyboys 1. Peggy Ann Childers, the only thing you have in common with the royalty is you seem inbred. I think your father fucked his sister in the ass, and you were the result. Beware, do not fuck your sister. I don't know what I did to deserve your wrath. I only told the truth, and this is just a part of the results I've gotten from it all. Now then, I'm going to tell you again, I pray that this whole thing is laid out before the world to see. And then if you want to call me names, try it again, buddy.